If you've been on the internet at all for like the last 2 weeks, there are two things you cannot escape from hearing. The Steam Deck, which we have like 15 videos on, check them out, and the new Frameworks laptop. Now, the Framework laptop, really, something about it just doesn't set right with me and Gab. Not because it's a bad machine, but because of the reviews. I cannot get past every single review being, this is the greatest thing ever, because I've watched the videos and I've looked at the laptop, and unless there's something missing with the hands-on, I just don't see it. I just don't see why it's such a game-changing device. I don't want to just be that guy who's just hating on it because everyone else thinks it's cool. I don't want to be contrarian just for the sake of it. But for the life of me, I can't figure out what makes this such a big deal. So again, what is it, in case you weren't paying attention to literally every other channel ever? So it's a laptop that's billed as, like I said, infinitely upgradable and customizable. It's a 13-inch thin and light laptop made by a company that literally nobody has ever heard of. And, it offers some different CPU options, and they're all kind of the same, 4-core, 8-thread, garbage CPUs. I'm sorry, they're garbage. 4 cores, 2021, garbage. What else does it have under the hood? Well, let's talk about the GPU, or the fact that it doesn't have one. So you're stuck with the integrated Intel graphics. It's not really great, honestly. Feels kind of bad. Let's talk about what's customizable. Well, when you go to their website and you start looking, first off, they say upgradable high-performance mainboard. And I have so many problems with that sentence. First off, high performance from a 4-core i7? Have you ever heard of Ryzen? Have you? I can get 8 cores for the same amount of money and probably with better power efficiency. That is not high performance. And upgradable. So you can upgrade pretty much I can't say pretty much everything, but you can upgrade a lot of stuff. You can change out the bezel on the laptop, which is a thing. The keyboard to different languages, in case you're not American, but those aren't available to buy right now, so I hope you're American. You can change out the memory, which I've done on every laptop ever, except for my current one. Change out the SSD, which I did on my current laptop. Change out the Wi-Fi adapter, which I did on my current laptop. These aren't new things, people. So, then the CPU. Replace the CPU, right? It's upgradable. No. CPU and motherboard, not CPU and motherboard. No. CPU and motherboard, one thing. You want to get past that i5 you bought? Well, you better buy the whole new thing, which, again, isn't new, but I can't imagine how expensive that's going to be because they won't tell you. The same people that got really upset about AMD dropping support for new CPUs on their older Ryzen motherboards are the same people that are super hyped about this. That may seem weird, because it is weird. This is not upgradable. But I can't blame what are they called? Framework? I can't blame Frameworks for this, because they can only sell you what they're given. And Intel doesn't make a laptop platform, as far as I know, that has a replaceable, socketable CPU. So I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with them claiming that it's replaceable. That's disingenuous, and I'm actually very bothered that every tech reviewer seems to be rolling with that. That's not okay. What if they release a 12th gen? That's what they're talking about. Upgrade the motherboard to a 12th gen or 13th gen. Are they gonna skip 13th gen? That's kind of unlucky. That'll be interesting. Let's check out that. Let's see if they rename everything. So sure, maybe you can do that. But again, you're still basically buying the whole new laptop at that point. At that point, you might as well just sell your laptop to somebody else who thinks they can upgrade it because it's infinitely upgradable. And then you just buy a new one. Oh, that's so scummy. I'm trying to think here, what else am I forgetting? Wait a minute. They haven't talked about the battery. Okay, so they say it's easy to replace if you ever need to, but... it's actually really funny, is they went through the hassle of doing all of this work, but they didn't just give me, an easy to open bottom to, put in a battery like we used to in the olden days. That's actually really weird, that they just didn't, I'm looking at the picture here, and it's the whole bottom is, an underpowered battery. So like, why couldn't you have just given me like a little like, you know, pop it out and pop a new one in?
That's how they can make more money.
Yeah, selling me first party batteries? That's expensive. Telling the same people that want an infinitely upgradable laptop and hate dongles that they should buy 5 batteries from you instead of using a battery bank like a normal human? Tons of money.
Priceless.
Yeah. No, I hate dongles. I'm just gonna carry 5 batteries in my backpack. That's not a fire hazard, you're a fire hazard. It's little things like that that feel like they could have made differently. I get that they can't make a motherboard, you know, socketable, a CPU socketable that can't be, but why can't they make me a battery that's replaceable? Like hot swappable, right? Well, not even hot swappable, but swappable without a screwdriver and carrying around a soft pack battery. There's one last thing I've avoided talking about, and I know basically all of you want to strangle me at this point for not talking about it earlier. The whole reason why everyone's talking about this, it's not because the screws are all the same and there's QR codes everywhere. That's cool, but...
Who reads the manual?
Yeah. Who reads the manual, and what's that QR code gonna do for you when the website goes down because they run out of money? Like, better hope iFixit covers it. Oh, iFixit. I love you guys. The big feature is the expansion cards. So by default, you get a laptop that is a laptop with a 3.5mm headphone jack and then 4 little cutouts on the bottom of it. Those cutouts have a recessed Type-C connector, and you buy these little dongle... Oh no, I can't call them dongles. People get mad. They're dongles. They're dongles. You get these little dongles with less cord, and you just pop them in there, and there you go. Now instead of a Type-C port that's recessed in, you've got a Type-C port that's not recessed in. Or a Type-A port. Cool, or what? What else do they offer? Type-C. SSDs, which I'm actually curious if it's that big. What kind of 1TB SSDs are you gonna pop in there? Okay, so the 1TB writes a lot faster, but they read the same. Interesting. So I mean, that's actually a cool thing I haven't really seen anywhere. You got Type-C, like I said, Type-C to Type-C, because sure, Type-A. Weird that they couldn't just put 2 on there, but you know, sure. You can always just use a dongle to give yourself more Type-A ports. You got HDMI, which I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I'm thinking. You got DisplayPort. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking. Also, what are you gonna connect this to where you need a DisplayPort and HDMI wouldn't be good enough? Or common. Like what? My work TV that I'm projecting to doesn't have HDMI, it only has DisplayPort. There are so many high performance use cases for DisplayPort, but there is nothing high performance about this laptop. I don't care what the motherboard page says, it's not high performance. I mean, you're putting a giant cold air intake on your Corolla or your Prius, like why? It doesn't do anything, this doesn't help anybody. Micro SD, and not full size SD. Weird, because I can't think of a single micro SD card I've ever bought that doesn't have the adapter. So you're just kind of limiting me for no reason. And then the most insulting thing to me, and like the biggest reason for dongles, like why they started being a thing, was Ethernet. There's no Ethernet dongle. There's no Ethernet block. They say it's coming soon, but I don't know. I have a really hard time with the word soon. Because, well, one, I've been held hostage by League of Legends, and I've waited 10 years for, you know, a game mode to come out that's never coming out. And we've all experienced Valve time. Soon doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I'll see it when I see it. I don't know if it's gonna happen, and that's just a really weird thing not to include, especially for this kind of customer base. These are people that want to take apart their laptops and have a powered switch for their webcam and mic so you can't spy on them. You think they want to be using Wi-Fi? No, they want to be plugged into the wall with like 45 proxies and 16 VPNs. God, I'd know that if someone sponsored us. And then of course, there's always the kind of build it yourself option, where you can do the DIY edition, where they basically, for $750, they sell you the shell with the base CPU, and that's really it. You gotta put your own RAM in, your own SSD in, your own wireless adapter in. And I get that people like the customization, but at the same time, who the heck has laptop DRAM just lying around their apartment? I don't know, weird little decisions like that. Like, they seem like easy bonus points for marketing, but I don't see anybody actually using this stuff.
Oh yeah, I'll go get it somewhere else for cheaper.
Okay,
but at the end of the day, you could have just bought a whole laptop with everything for
Yeah.
cheaper.
That's the thing. It's like, you know, they claim to be a super upgradable and repairable laptop, but when have you ever had to repair your laptop? Outside of water damage, which you're kind of SOL anyways. What are you gonna do? Who opens their laptops anymore besides Gab with his... Oh, this is not a thin and light.
Very thin.
It's actually pretty thin and light for what it's got, but, you know, Gab took a Dremel to his. Most people don't open their laptops, though.
It's got liquid metal, too.
You gotta be more gentle with that.
No,
It's gonna splash everywhere. Sparky spark, blue smoke. I mean, at the same price point, you could honestly just buy a laptop from somebody else. I could buy an XPS 13 for... So the pricing gets kind of funny between the tiers, but if I buy the highest tier, the XPS is about the same price, and it comes with a OLED screen, a much better screen. You can change those options. Crazy, right? You can get much better battery life, and you're getting a computer from a company that you know is going to be here in the next 30 minutes or the next 2 years. Dell's always going to be there, love them or hate them, but they're always going to be there, so you can always harass them and get, you know, upcharged on a warranty you didn't want. It's the Dell way. I don't want to hate on these guys. I really want them to succeed. And I would love for this to be like the kick in the ass for everybody else to start selling more upgradable and repairable laptops. I don't see it happening, and I'm really worried about the future for these guys. They're not making money off of these machines at this price. And they don't really have any blocks available for sale yet, so where's the money coming from? How are they going to keep the lights on? So I'll keep waiting for a version 2. Hopefully a version with a dedicated GPU option, because... Or with a Ryzen option, honestly. Integrated Vega is not that bad, but... Still, just give me a little more meat there. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've ever even opened a laptop before. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna buy one of these, and I wanna see receipts of your pre-order. Everyone says they're buying one. Nobody actually buys one, though.
Unless it's a Steam Deck.
I can't wait to see... Well, yeah, the Steam Deck's cool! The Steam Deck's got coolness to it. Which
Not
people...
overpriced.
No, the Steam Deck's actually, like... They're selling that at a loss. These guys are selling it at margin. Big difference there. Valve can take the hit. Especially when they're charging 30% markup on every game they sell.
It's not markup.
It's convenience fee. Still cheaper than Ticketmaster. So yeah, let me know in the comments if, you know, you're buying one of these, and give me a receipt of that pre-order. I don't believe you. Let me know if you've ever opened up a laptop before, and just go ahead and lay into me for how wrong I am. It's fun. Stop by the Discord, like the video, and get subscribed. We'll probably have more videos about me yelling at something. And have a good one.
Hot takes by Zex.
It's not that good of a deal!